Hello and one and all, and welcome back to another video, and this time I'll be continuing my ranking of my Bond film actors. Well, I'm only just doing two. I did my Sean Connery Bond ranking. If you want to check that out, it's on my channel right now. This time I'm going to be ranking the Roger Moore area of James Bond. Yes, I'm going to rank all seven James Bond films that Roger Moore did star in. And as always, as I said with my Sean Connery Bond ranking, this is my opinion. This is a subjective list, not an objective list. Let's all be respectful and have some fun, explaining why you agree and why you disagree. So, without further ado, let's get into number 7. Alright, number 7 is a film where I feel like you could have had a different Bond actor, and pretty much most people would agree that if you were to pick a Bond film, you would change a Bond actor to play a certain Bond actor as Bond, it would be this film. My number 7 would be A View to a Kill. Yes, the obvious problem we all know is that Roger Moore is just too old to play as Bond here. He was like 57 or 58, which is pretty crazy age for someone to play an action hero. No, I mean, I know there are some people that somewhat kind of enjoy View to a Kill, but if you do, good on you. I'm glad you do. But me, I cannot stand A View to a Kill. I just think... Now, I'll talk about the positives first. Patrick Macnee is actually a good ally to Bond, and I think the villains are actually pretty good, you know. The villains are pretty menacing in this one. And I think the View to a Kill song is actually a very good Bond song. And some action is cool, and the Golden Gate Bridge fight scene is pretty cool at the end. But there are major problems that I have with this. You know, certain, there's the opening shot. While it's cool to watch, you could have just add some different, could have added John Williams. No, oh my god, John Barry. I keep saying John Williams. It's John Barry, excuse me. You could have added a score from John Barry into that scene, not just play Beach Boys. Could have just had, John Barry composed score music. And of course you have the Bond girl, who's pretty much a bitch pretty much throughout the whole movie. She's constantly just screaming, James! But I don't want to go into too much detail because I've done a review of this film last year. I mean, I've reviewed it already. If I was to give this a grade, it's kind of enjoyable in places, but this is like, I would give this like a C minus or a D plus. But if you enjoy it, good for you. But me personally, I cannot get into A View to a Kill, unfortunately. So that's number 7. Alright, coming at number 6. Now, this may be a lot of people's least favourite Roger Moore Bond film because of how silly it is. But for some Bond fans that like the campy area of Bond, this could be somewhat enjoyable. Number 6 is Moonraker. Now, I don't hate Moonraker. I mean, I don't flat out hate any of the Bond films. There's just times where there are certain films that I cannot stand watching, sometimes like A View to a Kill. But this film, it's very stupid in places, you know. Jaws is actually still pretty enjoyable to watch. I mean, despite the fact how he's constantly just falling in love with this girl who's much smaller than him, which is pretty silly. But I mean, Drax was an okay villain, you know. I mean, you can consider this to be a guilty pleasure Bond film if you just want to have a fun time with this, and you think to yourself, this isn't that good of a film. I mean, For Your Eyes Only was meant to be the Bond film after The Spy Who Loved Me, but then Star Wars was a big thing back then, so they made Moonraker instead. But hey, we got it. And if you want to hear more thoughts, check out my review. As far as grades go, I'd give this like a C. I mean, it's enjoyable in places, you know, but it's pretty silly to watch. But it can be somewhat enjoyable to watch, you know. I mean, Roger Moore's Bond films are very campy in places, you know, but that's just the whole point of his area, really. But number 6 for me is Moonraker. Alright, top 5, here we go. Coming at number 5 is another one that people may consider to be one of their least favourite. Or some Bond fans think, you know, oh, this film may be good, but this has one of the best villains in the series, and you may know why it is. My number 5 is The Man with the Golden Gun. Now, The Man with the Golden Gun, of course, Scaramanga, played by Christopher Lee, is the highlight of the film. I mean, this is pretty silly to watch, but you know, it's enjoyable at the same time. I mean, Sheriff Pepper is a pretty stupid character. I mean, and yes, we all hate the squawk that ruined the stunt work, but maybe that was kind of what they needed, but they really shouldn't have. You could have added some John Barry score to it rather than just having some random sound or squawk. But I mean the scenes where Bond players sort of come through is actually kind of cool. I mean the final showdown's pretty cool, but this if I was to give this a grade, I'd give this like a C+. I mean, again, this is a film I don't hate, I don't love either, but you know, it can be enjoyable places, but you know, if you want to hear more thoughts, check out my review of The Man with the Golden Gun. The Man with the Golden Gun is my number 5. Alright, coming at number 4 is yet another one. Yes, his series is silly, I know. So my number 4 on my Roger Moore ranking list is yet another one that people may flat out hate because of how silly it is, and what Roger Moore does in the film can be completely stupid at the same time and have the weirdest gadgets. But my number 4 is Octopussy. Yes, this one isn't great either. This isn't a top tier one. I don't think it is anyway, personally. But you know what? The action, for the most part, I do kind of enjoy to watch. And the Bond girl, Octopussy herself, is actually not a bad-looking woman. She was okay to watch. I mean, the opening pre-title sequence is cool, despite the fact that you'd have a fake horse's ass come out of a horse carriage and have a fake crocodile under the water because of Bond being a spy. But I did a review of this combined with Never Say Never Again, because both movies came out in 1983. So, and plus I couldn't really think of anything else to say much about Octopussy. But if you want to hear more thoughts on Octopussy, you can check out my review of it. It's on my channel. I mean, this is yet another kind of a guilty pleasure Bond film, but hey, I would also give this like a C+. I mean, it's not terrible. I don't think it's good either, but great. But it can be enjoyable at the same time. Alright, top 3 now. These are like the 3 that many Bond fans would consider to be the 3 best Roger Moore Bond films. And I can somewhat agree in ways. But anyways, coming at number 3 is his debut, and that being Live and Let Die. Now, I was struggling with this and For Your Eyes Only, but spoiler alert. But Live and Let Die is just such a fun ride of a film. I mean, I can see why people may not like this one much, because again, it's got some camp moments, plus it may be a bit creepy in some places because of the because it's a African-based Bond film. But come on, Live and Let Die is a fun ride of a film. You know, you have the Live and Let Die song, you have the boat chase scene. I mean, Dr. Kananga, I think, is the villain of the film. I mean, while I did enjoy the fight scene, but the way they killed him off at the end, I'm not gonna lie, was pretty silly and stupid. But for the most part, I do somewhat have a fun time with Live and Let Die, and I think it's uh, a great one for sure. I mean, you know, if I was to give this a grade, I'd give it a B plus. But if you want to hear more thoughts on Live and Let Die, um, you know, go check out my reviews on my channel. And I think I wish Roger Moore would look this age more often in his films. But heyo. All right, coming at number 2 is the film that was originally going to come out after a previous one, but then Star Wars became a big thing. But hey, we got this film after Moonraker, and number 2 is For Your Eyes Only. Now, I've seen some Bond fans put this as their favourite Roger Moore Bond film, and I can probably see why, because this is like the least campiest of the Roger Moore Bond films, because in this one he's kind of more serious, especially whenever he's kicking off a guy in a car off a cliff, and he's throwing Blofeld into a building pipe, and at the very opening, you know, you see Tracy's grave and everything, and of course you have a great gun barrel with the great music, da 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 dun. You know, obviously I can't play it because YouTube will hunt this video down with a copyright claim, but that music with the gun barrel sequence is just so good. It's one of the best pieces of Bond music I've heard. And fun fact, I think it's the same composer as Rocky. Hang on a minute. I keep forgetting the composer. Alan Silvestri. I think that's the composer. If not, correct me, because I'm not the best with names. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. But For Your Eyes Only, this is another one that may not people like because there isn't enough going on. But I think there is stuff going on. I mean, I think the main Bond girl is pretty downtrodden because her parents were killed and all. But yes, BB-8 is kind of a stupid character, and she's nothing too important about the film. But heyo, I would give For Your Eyes Only a B+, and if you want to hear more thoughts, check out my review. It's on my channel. Alright guys, coming at number 1, I think everyone saw this coming. This is probably the majority of people's favourite Roger Moore Bond film. And number 1 for me is The Spy Who Loved Me. Yes, this is pretty much Goldfinger and Skyfall for Roger Moore. Because a lot of Bonds have had some great third installments, you know. World Is Not Enough being a fun one, but hey, we all know the story to that one. But The Spy Who Loved Me is one of those Bond films they can just not look past on, because it's got, you know, the Lotus, the second most iconic car of the series. You have Jaws, one of the most iconic Bond villains in the series. You know, he's a great henchman. Really, my only problem I have with The Spy Who Loved Me, that being Stromberg, the villain. But that's about it, really, because he barely does anything in the film. But other than that, guys, I love The Spy Who Loved Me. I think it's a great Bond film. It's classic Bond, especially the opening pre-title sequence where he has the UK parachute. Again, great music as well. But If you want to hear more thoughts, check out my review of The Spy Who Loved Me. I'd probably grade this an A. If you want to hear more thoughts, check out my review. Spy Who Loved Me is my #1 favourite Roger Moore Bond film. And there you go, guys. That was my ranking of Roger Moore's James Bond films. So, guys, Black Friday's been going on. I unfortunately couldn't do it because in the UK we've had another lockdown, unfortunately. But I'm still gonna do a Blu-ray haul anyway. I've still bought some Blu-rays anyway. I'm gonna do a Blu-ray haul for this month, so look out for that, guys. I've got some other stuff planned. I'm gonna announce that whenever I do the Blu-ray haul video. Because this video is going a bit too long, but that's okay. I hope you guys have enjoyed this. Comment down below, let me know below, how do you rank all of Roger Moore's Bond films? Let me know below in the comments, and let's have a great discussion in the comments below. So guys, if you're new to my channel, I'm a movie reviewer from the UK. I like to do movie reviews, I like to do classics, especially when a new movie comes out. I also like to do ranking videos sometimes, and I also like to do Blu-ray hauls from time to time. And guys, I'm not going to do a Pierce Brosnan Bond film ranking or a Daniel Craig Bond films ranking, because I feel like Sean Connery and Roger Moore are the more important Bonds, even though Roger Moore isn't my favourite Bond, personally. Daniel Craig and Sean Connery are my favourite Bonds. I think pretty much the majority of people, if you were to rank Brosnan's and Craig's Bond films, they're pretty much obvious and have the same opinions. But not to say that's nothing wrong with them. I still enjoy their area despite their misfires. I just thought, why not just do the ranking of Sean Connery's and Roger Moore's James Bond films, because they have 7 films technically. So yes, including Never Say Never Again, the non-canon Bond film, but as always, guys, comment, like, subscribe, share this video, notify the bell before you leave. All of my social media links will be in the description below. And as always, guys, until my next video, I shall see you then, and peace. Rest in peace, Roger Moore.